Hi, 8th grade. I hope you all had a great spring break. Wouldn't it have been nice to go somewhere warm since our spring break snowed? How terrible was that? Okay, so language arts, week 5, plan. I've got all these ideas going through my head. I just keep changing things up, so everything is exciting from week to week. You never know what's going on. I'm hoping that next week we can start reading a book together. I'm waiting for all of those things to plan out, and I'll have more information about that for you ASAP. But this week we are going to look at Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War, the Gettysburg Address, and a super cool poem called "O Captain, My Captain." So first of all, I have everything split up into days in your weekly plan. Again, you don't have to follow those days if you don't want to. However you want to work life, I don't care. Work life as long as you get your work done. Let's see, day 1, you're going to look at the Gettysburg Address in a number of ways. Okay, I'm going to flip my phone around here so that you can see what it looks like in the classroom. But under the Gettysburg questions assignment, first of all, I want you to look at the Gettysburg Address. So right here, this is a transcript of the Gettysburg Address. I want you to open that up and read it. This right here is an excerpt from the video Saving Lincoln, and it's a just the movie version of the Gettysburg Address, I guess. Then in Wikipedia, and I just put the link in here if you don't want to have to type Wikipedia into your search bar, I want you to look up the Gettysburg Address on Wikipedia, and this tab here, the Gettysburg Address, this is questions about all of it. And you can use these docs, use these links. Most of it will come from the Wikipedia article, but you can use those to answer the questions about the Gettysburg Address there. Okay, so that's the Gettysburg Address. Day 2, we are going to look at another speech that was given that day. So there was a man, you see, I keep thinking that it's touchscreen. I don't know why. It's never been touchscreen. Okay. So there was another man who gave a speech that day. His name was Edward Everett, and he was a professional orator, which just meant that he was a good public speaker, and he was hired, and the thought was that he was hired so that he could give an epic speech, like the speech of all time. Okay. So Everett gives a speech that day along with Abraham Lincoln, and this is the transcript of his speech. It is longer than Abraham's, but I want you to read through it. Then there was a newspaper in Philadelphia that reviewed both speeches, and this is called A Voice from the Dead, and it's a negative review of Abraham Lincoln and Everett, and it kind of the sarcasm in it kind of made me laugh a little bit. So I want you to read that. And then there's some questions about the speeches and the reviews in this tab here. And you're going to open that up and answer those questions. Okay. So that's day 2. So day 1, Gettysburg. Day 2, Edward Everett and the review and some questions. And then day 3, we've got the "O Captain, My Captain." Here's a transcript of the poem. And here is an analysis of the poem, it's an overview of it. It's not, it's a fun video. I liked it. Anyway, so it's a video of the poem. "O Captain, My Captain" was a poem written by Walt Whitman about Abraham Lincoln. And so the poem is about the captain of a ship who dies on the ship. And the crew is trying to celebrate the accomplishments, and the ship's made it to America, and they're trying to celebrate that, and they can't because their captain has died. And so it's an extended metaphor where the captain is Abraham Lincoln and the ship is America, and it's the mourning of the loss of President Abraham Lincoln. Okay? So an extended metaphor is a metaphor. Remember, a metaphor is when we say something is something else in a comparison. So the grass is a soft green carpet. The clouds are fluffy white cotton balls. Okay, those are metaphors. An extended metaphor is a poem that takes the metaphor all the way through the poem. and it develops the metaphor as it goes. So I want you to write an extended metaphor. Choose a life event. It can be quarantine. It can be your birthday. It can be, something happy, something sad, something, brushing your teeth, whatever. I want you to choose something and I want you to write it. It can be a paragraph or a poem. It doesn't necessarily have to, rhyme and all that kind of stuff. But I want you to I want you to create a metaphor about that event. Okay. In your plan in the document, it says there may be bonus points if you write it as a poem. So there you go. Some incentive to write poetry. So you are going to write an extended metaphor for something going on in your life. Okay. The last thing for the week is just a fun creative assignment. I think it's a fun creative assignment. So I have for days 4 and days 5, so it might take a little bit longer because I'm giving you 2 days to work on it. I want you to create a soundtrack for your life. All right. So what music would be representative of your life right now? Some of you might have super happy music because things are going great. Some of you might not have super happy music. Some of you might have a mix. So I want you to pick 7 to 10 songs that represent your life. And I want you to list the songs and give an example or give reasons, an explanation of why you've chosen those songs. So I have some examples in the document that I'll explain in 1 second, but one more thing. I am giving you free reign of music. I'm not asking you to stay in the strict or in the Christian praise and worship hymnals sphere. You can go outside of that. However, I will randomly spot check your songs, which means if you have songs that you turned in that have lyrics that are questionable or inappropriate, we're going to have a chat about that. Okay? I'm not going to grade that. So make sure that your songs would not embarrass your parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles or cousins or whatever. Make sure that they are appropriate, but it doesn't have to stay in the realm of Christian music. Okay? 2 examples that I have. One is Great Are You, Lord by Bethel Music. And that is that's the song that the chorus is, it's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise. And first of all, I just love the song. But it has just touched me a number of times while we've been in quarantine. And just, I've prayed through it. I've praised God through it. I've cried through it. I've had all of these emotions through it. The one morning where it spoke to me the most, my sister had a baby a couple weeks ago and I was supposed to be with her and I was supposed to be able to hold him and love on him, and I can't right now. And so I was super bummed, and that song just really touched my heart. So that's my first song. My second song that I picked, is a New Kids on the Block song, because you can't have a soundtrack without New Kids on the Block. But it's a song called Survive You, and it's technically about a guy and a girl who've broken up and he just can't get over it and he's just trying to deal with life. But the chorus says, I'm just trying to survive you. And that's kind of become my anthem for quarantine, is I'm just in survival mode, So that's what I want from you, is just a list of songs with an explanation about them. It can be in a doc or it can be in Google Slides. And then in the classroom, it is, the assignment is, I didn't post it in your classroom. I'm going to post that right now. Soundtrack your life. So I want you to do that and post that in that assignment. If you have any questions, let me know.